Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video. In this video, we'll be trying to solve the problem for sum from Leetcode. Okay, now it's a medium level problem, so it shouldn't be too hard. Okay, you're given an array of nums of n integers. Return an array of all unique quadruplets such that they all add up to a particular target element. Okay, so in simple words, what they are basically saying is that you will be given a list of nums. Okay, you'll be given a list of elements, and you'll also be given a target value. You have to basically find out which sum of four elements from within the list will give you this particular target value. All right, and all those four combinations, you're supposed to insert that also inside a list and just return the list as it is. Okay, inside this. So here, for example, -2, -1, 1, 2, they all add up to the target element, which is 0, right? So even this as well, -2, 0, 0, 2, they all add up to 0, and even this. Okay, so now let's see as to how we can solve it. Okay, so now I'll be taking a sample array in this case. So say for example, my array is something like this. All right, say for example, I have 1. Say for example, I have 4, one more 4. Or let's just mix up the order a bit. So nowhere they said in the question that the array is solved. Okay, so I'll just take this array in random order for now. So let's say my array was 4, 1, 5, 5, 6, and 4. Okay, say for example, this is my array, and let's say my target element is going to be 16. Okay, so I have to basically find all the combinations of four numbers within this array that will give me the target as 16. Okay, that's basically it. So now here, let's start with the most common approach, or the brute force approach. Okay, the brute force approach here is that we can just use 4 nested for loops to find this. Okay, so we could basically have a for I loop, then we could have a for j loop instead of this, we could have a for k loop, and then we could have a for L loop. Okay, so basically what I need to say is that, say for example, your I will start from here, your j starts from here, your k over here, and your L over here. Okay, and you just basically check as if all the elements add up to 16 or not. Now if they won't, L will go from here to here, right? And then it goes from here to here. It's like it's the exact same way as to how a normal searching algorithm works. Okay, but the issue is that if you think about it, if you follow this particular way for solving, the issue is that the runtime complexity will be super high. So over here, every for loop is like O of n, right? So it's basically O of n into O of n into O of n into O of n. So the runtime complexity for this will basically be O of n raised to 4. Okay, now this is actually a very bad runtime complexity, and like it's something you want to stay away from. Okay, so let's think about a way in which we can reduce the runtime complexity from O of n raised to 4 to something a bit smaller. Okay, so for this, what I'll be doing is I will be sorting the array first. Okay, now the main reason I'm saying this is, if you face a problem similar to this and you have no idea what to do, and your brute force approach is runtime complexity is monstrously large, you have to always consider one thing, and that is sorting. Right? Like you have to always think to yourself as to if you can solve this. Will it help you to solve this a bit easier? And the answer is yes for this. So I'll say how. So the first thing is you sort the array. Okay, you sort the array, you get 1, you get 4, then you get 4, then you get 5, 5, 6. Okay, this is the sorted array, and your target, of course, it remains the exact same. All right. So now over here, like, what do we do after this? Now we will have 2 for loops and 1 while loop. So I'll basically say the logic behind that. All right. So we'll have a for I loop. I'll just do it over here so we have a bit more space. We'll have a for I loop. It will start from the starting index, of course. Okay. and it will end at the fourth last element. So it will end over here. I'll mark this with some other color. It will end at the fourth last element. Okay. Now, apart from this, I know it's like you guys might be a bit confused now, but I'll completely explain as to why I'm doing like this. Apart from your for I loop, you'll also have a for j loop. Your for j loop will go up to the third last element of your array. Okay. Now, as I said, we'll have two for loops and we'll have one while loop as well. Your while loop will have two variables called left and right. Okay. Right will always go up till the last element and left will always go up to the second last element. So the main reason I'm saying this is that, as I said, you need 4 elements inside your array which add up to your target value, right? So your I loop will be in charge of the first element. Your j loop will be in charge of the second element. Your while loop, which contains the variables left and right, I will write it down, which contains the variables left and right, will be in charge of the third and fourth element. Okay. Now you might be asking me as to why can't all the loops go up till the end? Now the reason is that we don't want the elements to overlap. Okay. Because like, say for example, I have a condition like this, for example. Say for example, I have 4, 4. Say for example, my array is 4, 4. And say for example, my target value is the exact same, that is 16. Okay. Now over here, like there should be no valid answer, right? Because we only have 2 values first of all, and we have to add up to 16. Now, if you do this I loop, j loop and while loop, everything up till the end, what's going to happen is that you will get 4, 4, 4, 4 as your answer. Why? Because 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 16, right? But that is not actually supposed to happen because you have only 2 4s inside the array, but in your answer array, you have 4 4s. Okay, so basically overlap of the elements is not allowed. Now, this is the main reason as to why I set the particular limits for the I, j, and the while loop. So the I loop, as I said, will only go up to the fourth last element, j loop up to the third last element, your while loop, which has the left and right variables, will go up to the second last element and the last element respectively. All right. Okay. So now let's understand as to how it works. So as I said some time back, the first measure or the first thing we have to do is sort it. Okay. Now we already sorted the array. Now we'll start our loop. Okay. Your I will be here. Your j will be here. Make sure to pay attention because this might be a bit confusing at first. Okay. Your I will be here and your j will be here. Remember, your j will always start from I plus 1. Okay. So if I is at the 0th index, j will start at the first index and so on. Okay. So you have I here, you have j here. Now you have left variable. Okay. The left variable will always start from j plus 1. Right. So the element after j. So your left variable, I'll just call it left. Your left will be here. All right. And your right variable will always start at the last index. Right. So I'll just do something like len of array minus 1. Okay. This will always start at the last index. So your right will be over here. Okay. Now what do you do? Now you basically check as to if they add up to your target value or not. You have your I, you have your j, you have your left, you have your right. Now you check 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6. The answer is 15. Okay. Now 15 is not the answer we want. Okay. Now if it is not the answer we want, we have to check if it is bigger or lower than the answer. Now 15 is lower than 16, right? So all we have to do is move the left variable forward. Now, why is that? You have to remember that the array is sorted. Okay, the array is sorted. So as far as you move front, your sum will become huger and huger. Only because your array is sorted. Okay, now that was the main purpose of sorting the array. So now here 15 is lower than 16. So what I'll do is, I will move my left one step forward. So my left will come here now. Now you see, what is 1 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6? It is 16, right? It is literally 16. So what we'll do, we'll add this to our answer array. So we have an answer array. We'll actually make a set. I'll be explaining the reason in some time. So our first input will be 1, 4, 5, 6, right? Because they add up to 16. Okay. Now, if they add up to 16, we have to move left forward again. Okay. Now left will again move forward. So now left will come over here. Okay. Left will come over here. Now you see again, here also it's 5. 1 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. It is again 16, right? They add up to 16. Now, we can't add another 1, 4, 5, 6 inside of our answer array. Now, the reason being is that they mention that duplicate, or how should I say this, like duplicate subarray should not be allowed. So this 1, 4, 5, 6 should only come once, right? We are not supposed to repeat it. So instead of an array, we'll just make a set. Now, for those of you guys who are not familiar with sets, a set in Python, the main advantage is that duplicate elements won't be allowed. So like say for example, inside the set, I have this. I have 1, 4, 5, 6. If I again try to input the exact same array with 1, 4, 5, 6, it will completely ignore that because 1, 4, 5, 6 is already existent within the set, right? So we'll be storing all our answers inside of a set. I'll just call this S for now. Okay, let's call this S. Set S equal to so and so. Like this. Okay. So now, as I said, the while loop, right? The while loop will run up till left is less than or equal to right. While left less than equal to right. Or I'm sorry, it is just while left is less than right. Because if it's equal to, the overlap will happen and we don't want that, do we? Okay. So while left is less than right. Okay. So now here, as you can see, left is in the second last index, right is in the last index. They can't go forward, right? Because left will go front, or if right will come back, it'll be overlapped, and we don't want any overlapping in this, right? So we'll delete all this for now. Now what will happen? I will come forward, J will come forward. The exact same thing what we studied. So here you will have I, and here you will have J. And again, your left will be J plus 1. Your left will be here. Your right will be over here. Like you guys should remember one thing, that right will always start at the end of the array. All right. So now see here. Now check the sum again. 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is what? What is the answer? If you have 8 plus 5, which is 13. 13 plus 6, it is 19, right? Now, again, as I said, 19 is not the answer we want, right? Our target value is 16. If it is not, you have to check if it's lower or larger. 19 is bigger than 16. So what we'll do is we'll move the right element backwards. Okay. Again, you guys should understand that the reason we are moving the right element backwards is because the array is sorted, right? The array is sorted. So as we move back, the elements get lower and lower. Yeah, so as I was saying, here your right will be over here, right? Now your right will come to 5. Now if you check the sum again, what will the sum be? 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5. The answer is 18, right? The answer is 18. So 18 is still bigger than our target value. So we attempt to move right back, but we can't move right back anymore, right? Because we have this condition over here. Left should be less than right. They can't overlap, so we can't move right back. So we'll again go back to square one. We have to again move I and j forward, right? So like this, we'll keep on going forward. Now I will be here, which is the last index I can go to. Remember, I can go only up to the fourth last element, aka this element. Now j will also come here. It's last index. Again, left will be over here and right will be over here. Okay, now we just add them and see as to what you will get. We'll get the answer as 20, which is of course much bigger than 16, right? Now, since 20 is bigger than 16, we'll attempt to move right back. But again, if we move right back, left and right will get overlapped, right? So we can't do that. So yeah, this is our answer. Our set will contain 1, 4, 5, 6. 1, 4, 5, 6 is the only subset of elements which can add up to your target value of 16. Now this is a set, remember that. So when we output, we have to convert this set into a list. So we'll just do a list of S and we'll return it like this. Okay. And that is basically how you solve this. So now let's see as to how we can code the solution out. Okay, so let's code the solution out. The first thing we do is to sort the array, right? We have to sort it first. Then we'll just do S equal to set. Now let this be our set. Now for I loop, for the first element, right? So for I in range, we'll start from the starting and go up to length of nums minus 3, which will be our fourth last element. Then for j range, as I said, it will start from I plus 1 because we want no overlapping, right? Then length of nums minus 2 to go to the third last element. Now after this, we need to initialize left and right. Now left will be j plus 1, as I said, and your right will always be the last element. So length of nums minus 1. All right. Now we need a while loop over here. So while left is less than right. Again, less than, not less than equal to. So we have no overlapping. Okay. Now, if, okay, we'll just make a variable called summation over here, which will basically be our sum of all the elements, right? So we'll just do nums of I plus nums of j plus nums of left plus nums of right. Okay. Now this will basically be your summation. Now, if summation is equal to the target, all right. If it is same, we have to add the elements to our set. So I'll do set dot add. Okay, sorry. S dot add. We have to add all of this, right? So we'll add nums of I, comma nums of j, comma nums of left, and nums of right. Okay, that's basically it. And we have to move the left pointer forward and the right pointer back. Okay, now if summation is less than target, we have to move the left pointer forward, right? Else it means that summation is bigger than target and we have to move our right pointer back. Okay, now I'll just do return list of S because we should return a list. Okay, so list of S. Now let's see if this works. Okay, we have some error here. Okay, I just wrote num. It should be nums over here. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's accepted. Let's submit. And there you go. That's it. So now that's how you solve this problem. Hopefully all of you understood the concept behind it. If you have any doubts, do leave them in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright? And that's it for this video. And I'll see you next time. Bye.